Welcome to another stream. It's me, the Bandito. Back playing some more Minecraft on the JFS. In case you may have missed, I was away for a week. Missed last week's stream because I was away on vacation. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And let's just jump into the server, shall we? Yeah, here we are. I think the plan I want to do today is to just do some caving, maybe? But we are going to take a look at the highway. I'm looking at all of this here. So yeah, Shield Ocean Highway is now 3/4 of the way done, because I did a lot of work on it yesterday. Muck Adventure 2 is in the works. I got some materials ready for that. The Pokemon Gym, I did a little bit of research just to get an idea of what they generally look like. It looks like there's no set structure for those for a Pokemon Gym, as long as it has the Pokeball front and center on the building. So that's kind of reassuring, but also a little bit I don't want to say stressful, but I gotta figure it out on my own, I guess. I do have a couple ideas. I think I should, since the gym's going to be a grass type gym, I'm going to obviously work with plant materials, so grass and vines and moss and leaves and such. I had an idea of doing like a big old tree where you have to like parkour your way up to the top of the tree where the actual gym is. Part of me feels like that's a little bit cliche or a little too easy of an idea, but it's an idea. Otherwise, I'll have to think of something else, but that's basically where I am with that. Gisano Kart track, I have an idea for the design, or at least the general layout. I just need to find a location for it and actually work on that. The issue is that it currently clashes with Muck Adventure 2 in terms of materials. Firewall game, I think I wanted to do something different with that. Not have it be quite the same as it was back in the day, but I will have to look into that. Good Fortune's pretty straightforward. Adventure Finale, that's a ways off. I need a lot of space for that one. Spontan Boat, haven't even looked at that. Nether Tunnel Face, that's something I could do on stream at some point. Maybe I could do it today. And sorting/storage system, that's something that we might do on stream at some point. I was actually considering doing that this week, but it kind of stresses me out when I think about it. So let me take my helmet off for a second. Looks like I need lapis, black concrete maybe, white concrete, and I don't know what color that is. It's not this. Maybe it's white terracotta. That's a little, maybe gray terracotta. Just checking all of these. Definitely not black. Yeah, light gray. Okay. So we want this. I'll just take a stack of this. I could use the blue concrete powder as well. And I would need white. Ooh, my. I I don't have white concrete powder, but I think that's relatively easy to make. Alternatively, I'm not going to use iron. Bone blocks could be an idea. White wool. I have some white dye. How do I make concrete? Concrete. It's sand and gravel. I have gravel? Pretty sure I have gravel. It's in one of these. I need to I need to label these. Oh. Yep. Gravel. I have sand in here, I believe. Stone, stone, stone here. Yes. So white concrete powder. That's, oh yeah, that's more than enough. Perfect. This shulker box I'm going to put away. Oops. Put it in here. Let's get... Oh yeah, I got that. So, before we work on the nether tunnel face, which should not take long at all. Oh, I also need food. We're gonna take a look at the highway. See how much I've gotten done. I guess I can take carrots. I'll take these potatoes, actually. My inventory is a mess. Put that away. Eat this. Let's group our current materials over here. Gravel. Oh, perfect. Well. And put this in here. Alright, let's take a lap, shall we? And let's do that. Actually, we'll just fly. We'll make it quick. Boop. Boop. Oh no, a bot. Give me a second. Let me deal with this. Look at this thing. Look at this bot. Get out of here. I don't want your opportunities. Okay. Okay, let's go. So yeah, I was on vacation last week. That's why I wasn't streaming. I think I said I was going to stream on Saturday before then, but I was just too busy. What happened here? Yeah, I was just too busy preparing for the vacation to actually, to do that. So, because not only was I preparing for the trip, but I also had to get my classwork done for the week and take care of like things like laundry and yeah, just general chores before I left. So, but yeah, what day was it? Sunday the 5th. I clocked out from work, walked over to the rental car counter at the airport, picked up my rental car, and then I went home, ate some dinner, and then hit the road around 8 p.m. That night. And I was going from Iowa to Colorado through Nebraska. And so I decided to take the scenic route. And because I was going, the drive straight there was going to be about 9 hours, which means I would either arrive like 4 or 5 a.m., you know, once you account for time zone change as well, because Colorado's in mountain time. I'm going to chop down one of these trees. Just to clean things up a bit here. But, yeah, so I took a scenic route, which is basically easily my favorite thing to do while traveling, is see the sights along the way. It's always about the journey for me more than anything else. But yeah, the scenic route added like 2.5 hours, and even though I wasn't going to see much driving overnight, it was definitely worth it. Definitely very much worth it. We've seen all this, right? This has been one of my favorite spots. Just this little loop of water that the path goes over. Let's see. The trip itself was pretty straightforward. I think this is where I started. Let's talk about this real quick, just showing off. But I think we started around here. Oh yeah, on the other side of this bridge. I don't know if I like this bridge. How narrow and windy it is. But here is where I continued it from. You see it kind of snakes this way. Up and over the hill. There's a couple bridges along the way that I took care of, as you can see coming up ahead. Somewhere along the way I lost my bed. I had a white bed that I set down, I think somewhere around here. Maybe it was a little bit back there. And I guess I broke it and never picked it up, and then I went AFK. And by the time I came back, it probably despawned, because I could not find it anymore. So I had to use the orange bed that I had. Those pumpkins were always there. I just turned them into jack-o'-lanterns. And then here we have feature number 1, a nice little covered bridge. Simple design, pretty neat. Just trying not to get too intricate, because usually when I get too intricate it becomes too busy when I do stuff like that. The floating fences is kind of weird, but I think it works out alright. Then we head up and over the hill here. This place gets a little bit winding. And then this nice straight line for a while. Right on down the hill here. Now we cut through a little bit of sand. Then it cuts to the right, and then we get this other bridge here, which is where I left off. As you can see, I was here very recently. And by very recently, I mean yesterday. This bridge is just a very, I don't know, archway type bridge thing. So you just go up to an apex and then right back down. And I left off here because I ran out of acacia. But we are 3/4 of the way through. We just have this little bit of acacia biome left. And I believe this is where the pathway loops around, and then we go into the birch forest, and then through the dark oak, and around to the jungle, where it will cut through the bamboo in about as straight a line as we'll ever see, and meet up back with the Temple of the Cat. And then Phase 1 of the Shield Highway project will be done. Phase 2 would be connecting the highway to our neighbors, which I believe I can show off over here. Yeah. So, Smitjay is off to over here somewhere, where we can connect the highway at. And then Dakota's up this way, up here. And then Shawson's down here somewhere, like way down here. So Phase 2 would be connecting those 3 plots. If anyone else wants to do those connections as well, like if Shawson wants to connect to the highway, he certainly can. He already is able to now, because that part of the highway is already done. Phase 3 would be area beautification, so I would spruce up the pathway a bit. And then Phase 4, I'm considering doing like a what do you call it? A bypass route. Actually, it's going to be the opposite of a bypass because it's going to cut straight through. But as you saw along the way, you probably saw at least 2 villages. There's actually 3 in the area that are... does this feel loud? Does the music feel loud? It's about as low as I can make it, I think. Yeah. But yeah, Phase 4 is what I'm calling the 3 villages bypass? Not bypass. 3 villages. I don't know what to call it. I got the 3 villages part down. I just don't know what the correct term is, because it's not a bypass because it goes straight through the towns. So 3 villages throughway, maybe? Get out of here. So there's going to be like a little extra bit that takes you through those villages. So that's the idea. So let's go put our face on the wall here. We actually have to leave the nether because I got concrete powder that needs to be concrete. So, but yes, the vacation. I picked up the rental car, hit the road, took the scenic route. The scenic route takes you through the majority of northern Nebraska. I'll tell you what, if you're ever traveling and you have the time, taking the scenic way is way better. I would say 8 times out of 10. Way more interesting than just taking the interstate. Because there's a lot more cool things you can see along the way. But there was a little bit of a concern along the way, so I picked a I can do this on my headset. Just turning the volume down for me because that music's really loud despite it not being very loud on YouTube. Yeah, I took the scenic way, which is way cooler, but has a little bit of a concern because I was going to be cutting through a bunch of small towns. I only need 2 of these, so easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 12. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And cutting through small towns, it kind of, I knew this going in, but I became more acutely aware of it as I went along, that it is less likely in a small town to come across a 24-hour gas station. So, excuse me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's deal with this guy. I didn't drop it. Look at these. Alright, now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yeah, it's 8 across. So 16, 18. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So yeah, I was a little bit concerned that I had a target location that I wanted to get gas at. And not only was I concerned that Google Maps might have been lying to me about it being a 24-hour gas station, but the car that I had seemed to have less fuel mileage at a full tank than I originally had anticipated. This proved to be untrue. But basically, when I got the car, it said its mileage at a full tank was at like under 300 miles. Drink some water there. And then when I finally was able to fuel up, it was closer. It was like 389 miles or something like that, close to 400, which is where I expected it to be all along. But yeah, as I was driving out originally, with it being less than what I expected, I was like, I might not be able to, make it to my targeted pit stop area. So as I got closer, I realized that I would be fine, but just in case, I was looking for any other options. And so, as I was driving along, I came across... Oh, this is slabs. As I was driving along, about 10-15 minutes away from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, that's perfect. As I was driving along, approaching my target city, about 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, heck. As I was approaching my target city, about, 10 minutes or so away, I came across this random gas station in the middle of nowhere. It just kind of... I was driving through some woods, and next thing I know, I reached a clearing, and in that clearing was this gas station. But not only was it... it wasn't just any type of gas station. It was also one that just so happened to not have a convenience store attached to it. It was literally just a set of pumps and this giant oil tank, and that was it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So it was, and as I was driving along, like shortly into my drive, I hit a bunch of dense fog. So okay, just making sure I do this right. Oh, there's some extra height to the top. Okay. So it should be here, here, and white here, here, terracotta here. Yeah, so it's gonna be some extra up top here. Unless I was like one short on the mask. That looks okay, I think. Yeah. That's fine. Looks good. But yeah, dense fog, running low on gas. Was growing a little bit concerned. Find this gas station, no convenience store, so it's basically a bunch of unsupervised fuel pumps. That's a choice, I guess. And kind of creepy when you have dense fog and this empty, supposedly abandoned gas station that nobody's at, not even an employee. There's no employees or anything. So it's just a group of pumps in the middle of nowhere, and it's in the middle of this patch of woods too. It's just this clearing in the middle of the woods. So it had this kind of creepy, like, I could be the opening death in a horror movie, slasher movie kind of thing, kind of vibe. And but I stopped there. I got gas, and all was good. And like I said, about 10-15 minutes later, I arrived at my target town where I was originally going to get gas. And what do you know? Not only did I make it there, but the gas station that I intended to get gas at was indeed a 24-hour gas station. So all of my concerns were for nothing. So, and I think the fuel mileage that my car said it was at was a bit of a lie in itself, because I was able to stretch that mileage about to where I expected it to. So all was good there. But yeah, continued driving, and Nebraska, despite being in the Midwest, is actually a lot more hilly than you'd probably expect. It's actually really nice out there. And as you approach the western part of the state, you will arrive at these, like, big old sand dune type things. The area is kind of more grasslandish. They're not actual, like, sand dunes, but at least in the sense of them being, you know, sand. But it looks like, when you look at it from Google Maps, it kind of reminds me of if you've ever been to like a lake shore or the beach, and you've seen the sand have that kind of wavy pattern to it. It's like that in western Nebraska, but on a much bigger scale. You get these, like, you know, you get these dunes that are like well over 100 feet tall, just everywhere, and in the middle of the Midwest as well, which, if I remember correctly, is because of it's like a remnant from the Ice Age, when the glaciers receded and melted. It created those dunes along the way. And it was really cool driving through those. And by that point, the fog had lifted. And I believe it was a full moon or close to a full moon. It was a bright moon. And you could see pretty well through there. And cool thing about each of these dunes is that most of them had these like little ponds in the valleys between them, because these are pretty steep hills. So every little valley between these hills had like a little pond in them where all the rainwater would collect at. It was really neat. I took like one decent picture while I was in there. Maybe I can bring it up real quick. I'm just gonna stand up here. Grab that. Stand up here and see if I can pull it up. Let's see. Go here to this. I usually keep all of my main pictures on Facebook. That's pretty much all Facebook is good for me right now. It's just storing pictures. I guess I could save them all. There we go. There's one. And I guess I'll save this one as well. I have to be very careful with this idea. Let's see. This way, okay. And then we go over here. And then we do one of these. Uh-huh. Oh. And then we... Oops. Oh, I'm gonna have to... Okay. Wait, I can change this. Hang on. I'm learning as I go. I think yeah, okay, I figured that out. Okay. So we do this. And then we do then we can do this. Not that image. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Window capture. Uh-huh. Does that work? It does not. Does it? No. Lame. I will just then do it the very, very careful way. Yeah, that works. Transition. There we go. So these are night photos they're not the best, but this is one that was taken well into the evening. This is one of my scheduled stops at a place where this river got really close to the road, but it's like at least 50 feet down a cliff. I probably could have gotten closer to get a better picture of it, but I was trying to do the night photo option. I don't know what the light is in the background there. I thought it was a car, but it's probably something else in the distance. But the next picture, this one, is an idea of what the sand dunes are these kind of low looking but pretty steep hills that and you see there's some snow mixed in there, but they're everywhere, and it's basically about that size of a hill, just thousands of them all across the Nebraska Panhandle in the west. And as you can see on the right hand side, there's a little pond here, and that's basically between every hill is a little pond. And yep, full moon helped me a lot with this picture, but it was pretty cool. Something I probably would like to work on to visit during the day at some point. Okay, we can get back to this. Oh, I'm in a tree. I mean, like an actual tree that regrew. But yeah, I'd like to go out there again someday and see it during the daytime, because it's pretty cool. And my favorite part about it was there was nobody on the roads at all for like hours. Once you hit about, like, I don't know, midnight-ish, like, there was nobody. Like, the road was mine the entire way until I made it to the interstate. Basically, once I hit the sand dunes, I turned south and cut through them to meet up with the interstate. And basically, it wasn't until I got around there that I started seeing other cars. I saw a few trains along the way. That was about it. But yeah, I hit the interstate. I pulled over at the Colorado Welcome Center, and I hung out there for about an hour, and basically, as soon as the sun came up, I started feeling the effects of driving overnight. And the rest of the way to my destination was quite exhausting. Oops. I took many stops along the way. And finally made it to my friend's house, Riku, who I don't think is in chat right now, but he's usually popping in at some point. Yeah, went to hang out with him for a couple days. Basically met up at his house. He made bacon and eggs for breakfast. We watched some Star Trek, which I'm not a huge Star Trek fan, but I didn't mind it. I will take that. And I guess I'll have a quick sleep. But yeah, not a big Star Trek fan, but it was fun to watch. And then we got sushi for lunch, which was really good. It was at a local sushi place. And I kind of copped out and got the California roll lunch. I could have tried anything special, but I went with the safe route with that one. But it was still good stuff. I have sushi on occasion, but I wouldn't say I'm a massive sushi fan. And then we hung out at his place again for a little bit because I couldn't check into my hotel until 3 p.m. Once 3 p.m. hit, we basically moved operations over to the hotel. And we watched court shows, I guess, for a few hours. Then he went home. I watched wrestling, went to bed, woke up the next day. Riku came by again, and we watched a 7-hour Kitboga scam baiting video, and that was basically our entire day. He brought some edibles, so that was my first time trying edibles, and I'll tell you what, I felt absolutely nothing. It had no effect on me. I had one cookie. He had two. I had half of one at first, and then I had the other half like an hour or two later. And maybe that's why I didn't feel anything. I felt a little sleepy at one point. I don't know if that counts, but beyond that, man, I don't like this section that much. Beyond that, I didn't feel much of anything. So, but I am not opposed to trying them again and seeing if there's any notable change in the future. So, but yeah. After that, after several hours of scam baiting videos, Riku went home. Oh yeah, I ordered some burgers for us. What? Gross. Even worse. I hate these. I hate them. Yeah, I ordered some food for us, and man, do I use Grubhub because they gave me a year of Grubhub Plus because I have Amazon Prime. So I don't have to pay for it until August, I think. And it still costs, like, after taxes and delivery fees and all that, it still costs about $50 for both of us. Which was annoying for, like, 2 burgers, fries, and 2 drinks. So, very cool. And then, Wednesday, I drove home and I took the interstate. A little bit of a concern here. This was probably the most intense part of the vacation, because in typical Dean fashion, I had a financial scare along the way. I had budgeted properly for the vacation itself, but I had made an error in my payments along the way. I've been admittedly stuck in a cash advance loop where you withdraw in advance and then you have to pay it back by your next paycheck with a little bit of interest. And I'm stuck in that loop because usually once I pay it back, I then need that extra money to cover bills and such. So I have to withdraw it again. And oops, well, okay, we're here. So I had used one, and the plan I had was to pay it back the day before I returned from my vacation. That way I could withdraw it on the way home and use it for gas. Conveniently, not only did I have enough money for at least one pit stop along the way, but my Iowa State tax return finally arrived, so I got an extra $32 to play with. Very cool. And so I set for home. I got gas once, I got gas twice, I also got food twice. And then as I was approaching Omaha, Nebraska, which is right on the state line with Iowa, where I live, I checked to see how much money I had left. And it said I was down to... I basically had like $7 in my checking account, $6 on one credit card, and $6 on another, which the other credit card I had no intentions of using in the first place, so it was already there from the beginning, It's a continuous project that I have. So yeah, a little bit of concern. So I checked the cash advance that I had, and it had not paid back yet. I knew that it would take about a day to become available again, but there was a time in the past where it was ready a bit early. I guess I was banking on that. So yeah, a little bit concerned. So as I was driving home, I became more and more like hyper aware of the fact that I was running low on fuel, and I was conserving fuel the entire drive home. And at one point, I finally decided, okay, I'm going to get gas, and I used the $7 left on my checking account to get enough gas to get me into town. So that part, no problem. However, new problem. I need to return the rental car at a full tank of gas. So I made it into town with about 50 miles worth of gas left. So I was like, how am I going to deal with this? Then I remembered something that I could do that I might not be allowed to do, but I'm going to say it anyways. I am a rental car detailer, and not only do I clean cars for the company that I rented the car from, but we also have to make sure they're at a full tank before they are rented out. So we have gas pumps at our service center, where all you have to do is punch in some numbers, and then you can pump gas. While we're working, you obviously have to keep a log of every car you have worked on. And so, having arrived home, or having arrived into town, I made the decision that I'm going to go to the service center and get gas there, where I don't have to pay for it. However, I was very much aware of the fact that if I get gas at the service center, I'm going to have to, obviously, they're going to want to know where all that gas went. So, I showed up to work. I drove through not the rear entrance, because the two entrances are side by side. They're on the same side of the property, but the second entrance that our company doesn't normally use. I pulled in that way, drove straight to the pump, got gas, left. I only saw one coworker who didn't care that I just showed up all of a sudden, and then disappeared just as quickly. And then I punched in the numbers before I dropped off my car. I punched in the numbers that I'm supposed to log. And the next morning, when I showed up to work, I wrote it down on my paperwork. So I returned the car at a full tank of gas, and I entered the numbers in, including how much gas I got. And so it kind of was officially taken care of, and yeah, everything was fine. I had averted disaster by pulling a cheeky move that is kind of in this weird realm of, is it completely not allowed? Because I say that because I already got that one. Number one, the car that I got gas with is a rental car from that company, and I am a detailer, and that is part of my job. And I logged it. So I feel like I kind of exploited a loophole of sorts in doing so. It was either that or face the ridiculous gas charge, which I don't know if this is actually true, but they definitely say it. I think every company says it, that they'll charge you $100 per gallon of gas that you did not fill up with. And $100 per gallon sounds extremely ridiculous, but at the same time, makes complete sense that they'd say that, because it, you know, excuse me, people outside, like, when you hear that, and I've seen customers react to that live and in person, they're usually quite shocked at that steep of a number. $100 per gallon. And I don't know about you, but if I heard that, not only would I be shocked as well, but I don't think I would, you know, dispute that or challenge it in any way. You know, I would not risk that being true. So I don't even know if that's a legit concern or not, but I'm pretty sure the majority of people who hear that are not going to test it. And I certainly was. Oops, I certainly was not going to. So I exploited the employee loophole of doing my job for 2 minutes. So I probably should not discuss it any further. You never heard it. Never happened. It was a theoretical fairy tale of a story. Never actually happened. Not based on true events at all. But the vacation was fun. So that was the point I was getting at. Ooh. Live and on camera. When did this server start? How many years ago was it? I think I saw Muck in chat. Is he still here? Muck, how old is this server? Because this is the first not chapel that I have found. And that proves it. Because, yeah. Nice. So now I can get the Eat All Foods award. Or achievement award. Eat All Foods achievement. Nice. Muck's not listening. But nice. Was it this server or last server that Muck got a Nod Chapel? Like first day. Like day 1 caving. It took me this long to get mine. But yeah, anything else I can mention about the vacation? Not really. But like I said before, the journey is always going to be my favorite part. And that's nothing against anybody that I visit along the way, or as a destination. It's just I love traveling so much that, you know, it's always really cool to see all these new places and interesting features as you go. Like, those sand dunes are really cool. Even if I encountered them in the middle of the night, where it was kind of hard to see, what little I saw of it was really neat. So, and like I said, if you're ever on a road trip and you don't have, you're not on a strict time slot, if you don't have to be at your destination right away. I highly recommend taking the scenic route over the interstate. Ooh. Because I think things are a lot cooler off the beaten path. So put that in there. That diamond, that book. So now, as we get into March, it's like, speaking of March, am I annoyed with it? As much as I love winter, I also love when it, you know, ends on time. I get increasingly annoyed when it sticks around for longer than I wanted to. And we're mid-March. Today it's actually pretty warm out. Well above freezing. It's like 55 degrees Fahrenheit today. However, actually no, I think that's tomorrow. Today is like still right around freezing, but it's like mid-30s Fahrenheit. It's like single-digit Celsius, which is pretty good. That's about on par for what it's been lately. However, Thursday, it's supposed to rain. It's supposed to be a mix of rain and snow. I think it's supposed to like snow in the morning, then turn to rain, and then turn back to snow overnight. And overnight, it's supposed to drop into supposed to drop into the teens Fahrenheit, like 17 overnight. And then the next day, I think it's supposed to be like low 30s, but with like 30-mile-an-hour winds. Like 20-mile-an-hour winds with like 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Very cool. Not in the good way. Then drop back into the teens overnight, and then Saturday, it's supposed to be in the 20s, upper 20s, with lows in the teens again. So, and also pretty much just about as windy. So, very annoying. Not looking forward to that this week. On top of that, I believe we are in the midst of spring break. And this weekend is supposed to be the end of spring break, I believe. So, it's not only is it going to be cold and windy, but it's also going to be really busy. Oops, okay. Well, you can just blow up. So, very cool. But, I don't plan on taking any more trips or vacations until the end of summer at the earliest. I also plan on, ooh, there's a few of you here. Thank you. Yeah, I don't plan on taking any vacations until the end of summer at the earliest. I plan on re-signing my lease come August. And I plan on hopefully getting a car in May. That's the plan. for March, I'm basically just going to kind of hunker down, ride out the after effects of my vacation, where I'm going to get a half paycheck from the week off I took a couple weeks ago. And then the next paycheck is going to be... Oh, very cool. Next paycheck is going to be the extra day I took off for this trip. Very nice. So yeah. And then once I hit April, things will be back to normal on the paycheck front, in which I'm just going to try to put as much money aside as I can. And then once May hits, I'm supposed to get my next student loan payment, in which I'm going to use that as well as the money that I have saved to that point to hopefully get myself a car. It's not going to be anything special, but it's going to be a car. So that's the plan. And then in the summer, when tornado season arrives, I can lose it in a tornado. Oh, back here. Okay. Hello. And then, by then, I could probably, I'm hoping that I won't have to spend much money on vacations from there, because by that point, I would have a mode of transportation in which I would not have to worry about renting a car anymore. Oops. So, in my efforts to save money, the big thing that kills me financially, surprisingly, hi Nixer. Surprisingly, my big financial killer is not vacations, despite the story that I had told. Is actually food. Not me eating too much per se, but more of the fact that after work I'm too tired to cook, and I don't want to waste my evening cooking, if that makes sense. Waste time and energy cooking when I could be, doing other things like not working. Yeah. So I originally I was trying to combat fast food, basically, because I do need to eat healthier as well, and I've been working on that. The vacations have not helped, but I originally did HelloFresh, which was great, but it was expensive. Very good food, just expensive food. So I found myself, like, half the time skipping a week or two of their subscriptions. And in doing so, because I don't have the HelloFresh box, I would then, order something off Grubhub or stop by McDonald's on the way home or something. Which does not save money, believe it or not. So I switched to EveryPlate, which is basically also HelloFresh, just cheaper. Like, literally same company, ingredients from the same place, just the cheaper version. And that was good. But the cooking part kind of, was a bit of a pain, just from the fact that I'm tired after work. I don't want to do much. because not only is it work itself, but it's also the fact that I walk to and from work, so I get a lot of steps in. Several miles of walking. Because it's like, it's 2 miles there and back. And then I have to, you know, walk between rental cars. And sometimes I have to shuttle rental cars to and from the airport. And that doesn't sound like much in and of itself, but you have to walk through the parking lot after you've parked the car into the building to drop off the key. Then you pick up the key of the dirty car, and you have to walk out across the street into the dirty car garage, and then find your car. And then you drive it down, you park it, you walk across the lot to the clean cars, grab a clean car, and rinse and repeat. And those miles add up. And my feet hate it. So, yeah. Busy day. You come home, don't want to work. Or, yeah, don't want to work, but don't want to cook either. And so, what do I see on the way home? McDonald's. What do I have in my pocket? Grubhub, you know, Pizza Hut, Domino's, etc. And so, while I do have, like, an every plate box in my fridge, and I do get through it pretty quickly. Actually, I got myself into a good routine with it before my vacation. I still found myself ordering fast food more often than I wanted to. So now I am switching to a thing called Factor, which is a similar subscription service, except they send you like pre-prepared meals. So all you have to do is put it in the microwave or the oven, and voila, you got food. Which sounds much nicer, especially on days like Fridays, where I have to be in bed early because I work Saturday mornings. I can now quote-unquote cook instead of using that as like a cheat day. So I'm hoping that will save money because I don't have to worry about cooking. And if it does, it's kind of around the same price that HelloFresh is, so it's more expensive than the Every Plate box that I got. But I'm hoping that it saves money in terms of, like, I don't have to buy ingredients. I don't have to worry about ordering out for dinner. I still might, like, I still might give myself, like, one day a week. But we'll see. So, we'll see how that works. But it's been a constant battle trying to quell bad spending habits, because it's kind of this cycle of, if I don't have money, I don't like sitting around, I guess. I don't know. If I don't have money, I think about all the things I could do, you know, that could do with the money, like places I could go, things I might need or want. And then when I do have the money, I go and get it. And then in doing that, I now don't have a lot of money. And so the cycle starts again. And it seems like, maybe from an outside perspective, it seems like something that would be easy to quell. I'm sure other people are a lot better at saving money than I am, but I just never really got the hang of it out the gate. It was never really properly taught how to save money. So from the beginning, I was always like, if I have money, I can buy things. Buy things that I wasn't able to get when I didn't have money. And that's basically how my life has been ever since. That cycle of no money and I want something, and then have money, so I bought something. I have at times been able to save money when I needed to. Like, every time I move, I manage to save up enough money to move. So, it's not like I can't save money when I need to. It's about just making it into a habit, making it into a new habit of saving money when I don't need to. Is the problem. That's what I'm trying to do. And one of the ways... So, I've tried a bunch of different things. Like, I can't put money in a savings account because it's right there in front of my face when I check my checking account. So, I'll put some money aside for a bit, and then say I'm a little short on bills, or I'm at the end of my... I'm in between paychecks, and I got a hankering for pizza, and then I see the savings, and I'm like, yeah, I can just pull from there, and the next thing I know, my savings is empty. So, the opposite. Always need confirmation from someone else to actually be able to buy something. Yeah, I don't want to say I wish I had that. I wish I was a little bit more in that direction, I guess. But I don't know. I don't like sitting around not having things. I wouldn't say I was ever, like... I don't think my family was ever, like... poor. Like... I think there was a time when my parents got divorced that my dad was kind of struggling, and I never really noticed it as a kid, because he put his time aside to take care of us first. But there was definitely times where there's probably a few things that I've wanted at times that didn't get, and I guess that feeling of not being able to get some of the things that you wanted kind of stacked up over the years, and then here I am, kind of making up for lost time, and then it became a habit. So it's weird how you develop as you grow up, and how you're affected by your childhood, the events of your childhood. Because, like, I don't think I've ever had, like, the worst experience in the world at all growing up. Because there's some people out there who have had horrible childhoods. And while I wouldn't say mine was, amazing, wasn't, whatever, the negative stuff seemed to be enough for my young mind to be molded the wrong way in a few cases. So, and spending habits ended up being one of those things. Hi. So it's just something that I am endlessly fighting. Luckily, it hasn't developed to the point where I'm like, struggling for cash all the time. Like, I'm not, scrambling for money or promising people that I'll pay them back and then I never do, or stuff like that. Like, I try to solve my own problems before I resort to asking anyone else for money, and that's partially because during the few times that I did ask for help in the past, I would not get any response. And so nowadays I get more help than ever. But back then it was like, I'll make a post about, like, on Facebook or something, and be like, hey, I need some help with some money. And there'd be no response, nothing. So I was just like, okay, I guess I have to figure this out myself. And honestly, I'm kind of happy, kind of glad for that. Because, even though my fierce independence kind of keeps me from settling down and stuff like that, I believe it also kind of helps me out a lot in terms of, like, problem solving and just doing what I want, even if it's to my detriment. I make things work because I don't expect the help normally. Talked to my mom about me not wanting much as a kid. What they didn't know is that I wanted a lot of stuff. I just never dared asking them and kind of accepted my old stuff. I feel like I don't know if I definitely wanted a number of things. I don't know if I wonder if we kind of, like, it feels kind of similar, but I don't know for sure. It kind of feels like we developed in different directions from the same starting point, differently influenced by the details of our past or something. I don't know. Weird words, big words. But I just know that, like, as a kid, I know that there were times where we couldn't always get the things that we wanted. So I feel like for the most part we were pretty much middle ground. Like, we got most of the stuff we wanted. There were a few times where we couldn't, but it was at some point enough for me to be like, okay, well, so, but yep, that's growing up, I guess. Like, now I'm an adult, and the biggest thing I learned as an adult is the harsh reality that things are not as simple as they seem. They're never as simple as they seem. You would think that something as simple as, like, I don't know, like, can't even think of anything. I don't know. It's like something like renting a car, we'll say. You think it would be as easy as reserving the reservation. You show up, you give them your ID, your credit card, everything's confirmed, you're on your way. But then you learn that you can't use your debit card at the airport locations unless you have a return flight that you can confirm. If you use your debit card, the security deposit is twice as much. And, like, all the other little details. Security deposit takes out some of the money that you wanted to use, etc., etc. And that's stuff I know now, and that I've known for a long time. Even then, it occasionally trips me up. Like, when I was going to get the rental car to move from New Hampshire to Minnesota, I had no idea that in order to pay with a debit card at an airport rental car location, that I would need a return flight confirmation to pick it up. Like, I had all the money on my debit card in my checking account to rent this car, and do the move that I wanted to do. But because I didn't have a return flight, I could not rent the car. So I had to go home, make a credit card payment, wait for that to go through, and then re-rent the car. And before that, I went on a vacation to Colorado. Not this most recent one, but a previous one where I flew out. And I had a... what was it? It's like a Tennessee unemployment card. Something like that. And it says it's a debit card, but the rental companies don't accept that kind of card because it's not an official rental or official debit card. It's a unemployment money card thing. So I couldn't rent a car when I arrived in Colorado, and I had to ask the guy that I was visiting to come pick me up from the airport, which he lived like an hour away. So I had to wait for him to finish work and then drive the hour to pick me up, and that was great. And again, I had to make a credit card payment, and then I rented a car on the final day to get myself back to the airport so I could go home. So that was like another thing that felt like it was another moment of like needlessly complicated, something that I thought was going to be relatively simple, but I had to learn the hard way that life's not like that sometimes. So it's weird stuff like that. And sometimes, like, needlessly complicated is just like an extra step or something. Something that I forgot to do, or, you know, life is annoying. Being an adult is annoying. It's great. So... But yeah, all that rambling was basically, my point was, through the summer, yeah, no more adult. Back to kid. My whole point of that was my plans between now and the end of the summer is save money to buy a car, in which I am out of food. No, I'm not. Just kidding. Save money to buy a car in which my student loan money will cover most of the down payment, which will arrive, I think, mid-May or late May or something like that. Then August, I will renew my lease for another year. And then September, I might take a trip. I might go on a vacation. If not, then I'll reschedule for, like, I don't know, somewhere else later on. So that's the plan. So I'm gonna have to hate life for a while, because not only will I be working the entire summer, but it will be summer, my least favorite time of the year. And the only thing that would make it interesting is tornado season, which is kind of playing with fire for me, because as much as I would love to see a tornado, I only want to see it way over there, nowhere near my house, and nowhere near the car that I have hopefully gotten by that time. So, but yes, adulting, some buffs, too many nerfs. the only real buff to adulting is the freedom to make your own decisions. But the cost of that is realizing that the cost of that is realizing that the decision you've made comes with some caveats, and that you can't just make that decision. You get some hoops to jump through, or some repercussions to deal with. So, hi. Yeah, money is the main hoop, in one way or another. It might not just be the fact that it's expensive to do whatever you're trying to do, but it might just be the fact that, like, I hope you enjoyed your vacation. Now you're gonna get half a paycheck next week, or which I knew coming in, but being an American, you know, what is paid time off? I think I would start collecting paid time off in August. Yeah. Like, in order for me to start collecting paid time off, I think I have to be at this job for at least a year, I think. So, once I hit, like, mid-August or something, then I think I start getting paid time off, but I don't know for sure. Because, you know, very cool. So. I wish I could, like, live somewhere that was better about that stuff. I still have dreams of moving to Vancouver in Canada. I don't know how much better that would be, but it at least wouldn't be as bad as here? Question mark? I would need Jay to confirm that. I don't know how much different it is over there, but I think Vancouver would be a beautiful place to live either way. So I wish I could get paid to travel. That's all I want to do. Like, even with, like, my dreams of filmmaking, as cool as that would be, I kind of feel like deep down inside, I kind of just want to do that so that I would have money to travel, or an excuse to travel, just so I can, you know, even if I made a bad movie, like a cheap horror flick, slasher movie, you know, make it for like $10 million, and then I could get like $100 million, and now I can, you know, go see the world for a few years, and then once that dries up, then I make another slasher flick, and then I can travel for another few years. Oops. Which, honestly, if I were to get into the film industry, I would actually want to, like, try to make something new and unique. But, I do feel like half the time I would probably make some cheap studio corporate type movie just so I could fund passion projects. So it's like I would make like a... I actually do have a horror movie in mind that I should honestly flesh out a bit more, because I feel like that would be like my foot in the door kind of movie. can make that, get some money. Could be a Blumhouse movie or something. And then use that money to make my spy series. And then once that's done, maybe I'll do a remake of some movie. Do Transformers 10 or something. And then can use that to make another furry series. Going like my friend's universe, and then I can, you know, continue from there. I don't know where I would go after that. Those are all the ideas I have. Ooh. That's probably all I need to retire. Because, yeah, I don't think I want to make passion projects with a studio unless it's my own. I would probably work on something like that independently. And then I could link up with the studio, you know, for a one-off movie that they want me to make. Just play by their rules so I can make some money, and then I don't know if that's a doable thing, but that would be a good idea. So, on that front, my classes are still, you know, doing their thing. Reaching the end of this current class, which was about English language, like, you know, how you know, I have a hard time explaining what each class is about, but this one in particular, don't really care about it. It's talking about, like, diction and word usage and, you know, things like that. Linguistic equality is apparently a thing, which is... Linguistic equality has to do with, like, using certain terms for certain, like, groups of characters, I guess. Like, if you have a Russian character, you try to word things in a way, in a novel, you would word things in a way that shows the readers that this person is indeed Russian, you know, and things like that. Also similar to, like, education levels, like a smarter person would use, you know, bigger words, theoretically, whereas, like, someone who's poor and uneducated might use, like, simpler terms to say the same things, and things like that. Very not cool, not fun. Don't enjoy it. I have no idea what the next class is, but I'm still, like, 3 weeks away from finishing this one, even though we're doing our first of 2 final projects. This first one is literally just, you know, one of those, like, essay report thing, book report type things, where you just, like, this is the author that I, like, researched, and this is how they use linguistic elements to have a unique voice in books. So I gotta do that. And then second finals is the same thing, but in a PowerPoint presentation, if I remember correctly. So that's cool, I guess. Getting a lot of diamonds out of this cave. But I think my plan looking ahead is to finish up these online courses. Obviously, I would get a nice, pretty master's degree out of it, and then go into a proper film school, maybe. The main purpose for me taking these classes in particular is to learn script writing specifically, because I feel like I'm lacking in that. Like, filming itself, yeah, it's something that I need work on as well, but I don't feel like I learned much of anything in the way of script writing with my digital cinematography degree. I don't know how you shot that zombie. For me, with school, like, because I don't make much money and I live in this beautiful country, I kind of feel like I have to be in school to put off the student loan payments for as long as I can, because I can't afford those payments on top of, you know, all my other bills, especially with the way I spend money these days. So, you know, I wish I could just kind of not do school and classes and such, but while I'm doing classes, I don't have to pay student loans. So it does mean that I accumulate more student loans, but I don't have to pay any of it. So, and that there's apparently a cancellation bill, student loan cancellation bill, that's being fought over in the government right now. So, keeping my fingers crossed on that one, but also understanding that I live here. So, oops. I always want to put, like, my chest or any item that I put down, I always want to put it in this little nook. And I end up putting it under a block. What did I want to do? Get coal? So. And also, like, at least the classes I'm taking are stuff that I'm interested in. Even if it is online. Like, you know, I'm learning creative writing, which is not my number one concern, but it has the screenwriting focus that I'm hoping to get to at some point. It's part of my curriculum. I just don't know when. Cause like that's the main part I care about. You know, I'm learning a little bit from some of the other stuff. Like the first two classes, I don't remember how many classes I've done. The first two were at least somewhat geared towards like the stuff that I've been working on, and I've been able to at least incorporate that. Where'd I get this obsidian from? I don't remember collecting that. But yeah, like, the first couple classes I took was... I could at least, use my current projects, creative projects, to kind of, you know, have something interesting to make the classes more exciting. It felt like they were a little bit more geared towards what I was interested in. But like this class about English language is really more geared towards writers, and it's also something that I kind of already know. So I don't really care about this class, so I'm just kind of getting through it, and I'm pretty sure I have to get through a math and science class at some point, as is required. Oh my god, I don't know what's going on outside. There's a lot of nonsense going on out there. I don't like math. I used to like math, but then I failed it. So I kind of viewed math as like a puzzle, but, or like a riddle to be solved or something. But then I would always like... Then I took college math in my first attempt at college, and I failed every assignment except systems of equations. And a lot of the times the reason why I got an F instead of like a D grade was because... Not because of the math itself, but because I screwed up on like not writing down the lesson, or not writing down the date, or not writing down, you know, something in the header, basically, where I lost points for that stuff, you know. So I'd have like a 59 because I didn't write what course we were doing or something. It was really dumb. But, okay, so I missed what? I've lost interest in working with what I'm studying. Yeah, happy that I studied graphic design since I can use it in my hobbies, but is there a motivation to do the final things to finish my degree? Yeah. Yeah, I just want the screenwriting portion, and I'm sure I can get some things out of the other classes like I've done with like the first couple. But like I don't care about English language. Like, and the inevitable, like I said, the inevitable math and science classes are gonna show up at some point. So they're usually not as bad as they were in like when I did my digital cinematography degree. It was very clear that the math class was not important because it was kind of pretty basic stuff that I could, you know, easily handle. And so I remember for both my math and science class for that degree, I think I did like everything in like 1 or 2 days. Like I just knocked it out right away. Just get it over with. So yeah, I like puzzles too. And that's how I used to view math. But I always struggled with it. And it's usually like... Usually had something to do with like 1 or 2 little things that I messed up on that threw the entire equation off or something. And so I would like struggle in my classes because of the one mistake I made that gave me a completely different answer or something like that. And I just never got the hang of it, basically. So. And in the age of, you know, internet and smartphones and stuff, like, it's like less important that I know those equations. I figure, like, yeah, I know. I don't think. Oops. That's one of the downsides of being introverted for me. Like, I think I had my friends, but never really wanted to study with them. I always got annoyed when people tried to help me when I was growing up. And I still get annoyed at times with that. Because, like, I want to at least try to figure it out myself before I ask for help. I don't know, I just never worked with other people that much. I did a little bit in, like, elementary school, but not beyond that. You're a very quiet zombie. I think another thing that bugged me about the college math class I failed was like the times where I felt like I knew what I was doing. There's probably another reason why I didn't really have like the study buddies, is that I didn't really feel like I needed it, and then I would get a bad grade and I'd be like, what? And yeah, I don't think I was always the most popular choice as a kid in terms of like doing anything. So I know that, wait, there's a cave up here somewhere. Oh, it's way up here. Okay. Where am I going? I have been having thoughts of asking to see if I can change my work schedule around a bit. Just to see if I can get weekends off for once. I can't recall any job I've had where I've worked or where I've had weekends off. I have always worked weekends. Because that would be a nice change of pace. Get out of here. Because, yeah, like, every job I've had, I'm pretty sure, like, every job wants somebody who can work weekends. And they'll lean into that. So, when I show up and say I have open availability, which I do, they'll jump on that. So I'm like every employer's favorite person, because I say I have open availability, they'll be like, yep, you're not working weekends. Hope you didn't have a social life. So I would like to have weekends off. So I may get around to asking about that at some point, and if I do, then obviously stream schedule would change, because I would not be able to do it on Tuesdays, but it would be a lot better for me, because then I could be a part of more social gatherings, like not only on here but just in general. Like, I could, you know, not only could I do UHCs without having to request time off, but I could also, like, meet up with people and make friends, you know, without having to, like, take time off or force them to mold to my schedule or whatever. I feel like I could have a lot more friends if I just didn't work weekends. Because, man, even in, like, the dating or even, like, hooking up, even, like, saying that I have Mondays and Tuesdays off, it's kind of a deal breaker. So, ooh, a group thing. Are you allowed to say what that group thing is, or are you going to keep it a secret? Because I told my manager that I would not take any more days off until September, but we'll see. Oh? A zombie spawner? Oh, it is. Hello. I'm here to take your things. I looked at my to-do book at the beginning of the stream, and one of the things that was on the list was J-Sano Kart track, which I have an idea for. Boop. So, not sure if it's said on stream, but ooh, disasters, huh? I might see if I can make that. Oops. Do I want the disc? I think I already have that one. Yeah, I might have to see if I can make that. The good news about Saturdays, though, is that I at least work mornings. So, at least, like, my time, I can do, like, a Saturday evening thing. But in terms of, like, the JFS, with, like, you in particular, or, you know, just everybody from all around the world, like, 4 p.m. Central Time, it's not exactly the most exciting time for international people. Oops. So let me work on some maps and see if Lemons is able to do some of our ideas. So it'll probably be a little bit further down the line. Oh, another spawner. Probably be a bit further down the line then, I would assume. Stop that. Stop. definitely like the crossbow more. Not only... Like, sure, I need 3 shots to kill something, but I can get my arrows back. What the hell? Where's my... Hold on. I left my ender chest behind. I didn't know that was possible. And you know what? I found my first... Oh no, where's my ender chest? Did I put it in here? No. Come here. Oh boy. Is it up here still? It's not up here. Uh-oh, hold on. I suppose it's not the worst thing to lose. Okay, right? It's not in here. No. But, yeah, I already found one earlier. Which was the first, notch apple that I found on this server. However long it's been. I need to come back to that. Huh. Where did my ender chest go? Am I blind? Did I... Oh, you sent... Okay. Hold on. Oh, good, these stack. Good. Hang on, let me put this away. Clip. Oh wait, oh, did you DM it? Okay, good. I was gonna look for it myself. Oh, you clipped the double notch out. Well, I need my ender chest though. Yeah, I was gonna save the clip of the sure, I need 3 shots to first one, but I can get my arrows back. What the hell? Sweet. I don't know where the ender chest went. Let me bring up that. But yes, I am saving that clip for highlights. Yeah, I didn't go far. It's up here. Pretty sure I put it down here. You know, I think I think I know where the 8 obsidian came from, but I got that a while back, so I'm just even more confused. Yeah, because I have this 8 obsidian that I don't know where it came from. I guess that was the ender chest that I just destroyed like a year ago or something. And I just now realized that I don't have it anymore. How odd. Well, I guess once I fill up this, then I will have to go to the surface. Planet like a UHC? Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. I would like to kind of do... I'm really buying into the, Sano cart idea of having multiple tracks, and we could do like a little racing league or something. I think would be kind of cool. But I don't want to make all the tracks. I have an idea for one of them. Maybe two. I just got an idea for... What if we did a baby park Sano kart track? Just the little tiny paperclip. We could put like right in the middle of Spawn Town. Do you mean like the boat going up blocks thing that we were talking about before? So if that's so we'll have to think of another idea for that. I do have an idea for the main thing that the main track I want to build, which is basically just going to be like an oval track, but I think I'm gonna have like a few different like a low, middle, and high lane in like the turns that you can choose to take. Stop that. So yeah, it'd be pretty basic and simple, but I think it'd be kind of fun. And it'd be big, like a Daytona-sized super speedway kind of thing. I think that's the idea. And then we could do a baby park in the middle of Spawn Town or something. We can just put it on the roof of one of the we could put it on the roof of the what's it called? Spawn Town Courthouse Town Hall. We just put a track on the roof of the town hall. That's where Baby Park is. I think it'd be kind of fun to do like a little like racing league. Have a few different tracks to race in. Oh, another mine shaft. I have no idea where I'm at. I'm apparently going farther away from home. We've already passed the 2-hour mark, which is when I would normally stop. But considering I've been away for a little bit, I might continue. Although I am out of wood, so... I am, however, conveniently here. Stop that. Yeah, I am buying into the idea of having multiple things that we could do instead of UHC, as much as I have enjoyed it throughout the years. It's definitely not what it once was. Oh. Excuse me. Any sort of variety would be good there. Boop. Wow. Oh yeah, I don't have coal. Just gather a few more of these. Excuse me. I suppose we could go back to the surface. If I can just get through here. Because, yeah, as much as I would love to explore this mine shaft, I'm kind of all caved out. But I will take a screenshot of the coordinates for the future. See if I can find my way out this way. Just gonna take any direction that gets me higher in elevation, I guess. Asus joined the game. Yo. So. What biome am I in? Forest? So I could probably dig out of here. Ah! Here seems good. Yep. Actually, I'll just staircase up. So we are... oh, almost there already. Probably under a hill, though. Speaking of group events, I haven't heard anything about the April Fool's UHC as of yet. I think Shawson said he wanted to do that and then have the next official UHC in June, set them 2 months apart, because normally we would have next UHC in May, because that's 3 months later, but because of the April Fool's UHC, he wanted to separate them by a month. It doesn't... it's been kind of quiet in that front as of late. Oh. Man, what kind of forest is this? Savannah Plateau now. Telling me. Okay, here we go. Interesting. Oh, right. I can't get my wings because enter chest is gone. Even am I? Let's find out. Okay, I'm just way due south of home. So if I just go straight north, then I'll be good. Bring this back. Yeah, time to walk. Probably get attacked by phantoms. Well, I have a bed. North. See what this portal is. I'm sure somebody already found it. Hello, portal. Yep. That's not it. Bum 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 bum. Cool. Oh, what the hell? They they legit just spawned in. Very cool. Very, very nice spawn point, I suppose. I don't know where you guys... Oh, you guys... You're trying to go up the hill? I don't know where you guys want to go. But, good luck, I guess. Goodbye. Will this take me directly? No, not quite. Well, yeah. Yeah, this will eventually take me through to the ocean. To the Shield Ocean. Just gotta navigate my way around it. I believe that's where we entered from. So we went quite a ways. Okay, I think the bridge... Yeah, that area should be the highway itself. Yep. I just need the bridge. Show me where I am. Okay, it's to the right. Actually, I don't think I can get through there. I can get through this part. Just with a little bit of noggin pain. Nope. But then I'm stuck here. Nope, I'm not. Because I can go this way. Haha. Now it's just a straight shot north to, well, a little bit this way. Ouch. Gotta watch out for those pufferfish. I saw it. It just it just didn't register. But we are almost home. I will do the do most of the other stuff off camera. The sifting through yeah, sifting through my findings. But yeah, like I said, Shield Ocean Highway, 3/4 of the way done. So, phase 1 will be complete, and then phase 2 will be connecting other people's bases, and then phase 3 will be beautification, phase 4 will be the 3 villages expressway, I guess. So that's going well. Where do I have? I hope I have a. I'd have to get it from the brewing stand. This is a project that I still got to work on. Probably will do it off camera. But yeah, we are. I think we're about here now. We just finished the bridge to here, but this village, and then there's like one over here. I can connect with like an expressway. Boop. So do that. Welcome back. There we go. So yes, Shield Ocean Highway 3/4 done. Muck Adventure, I got some supplies for it. Pokemon Gym did research. Probably just gonna make it out of plant materials, and I have the tree idea, but we'll see. Well, J-Sano Kart track, gotta scout out a location. Firewall game, gotta look into that. I think I want to adjust it a bit. Good Fortune's gonna build. Adventure Finales down the line. Spawn Town Boat, maybe someday. Nether Tunnel Face, we did that. Did that at the beginning of the stream. And storage system, I will simplify that. Oops. Like so. So, making progress. So yeah, that will do for today's stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed watching. Thank you again, Nixer, for popping by. I'll just answer this. I'm doing grass type. But yes, that will do for this stream. I'll be back next Tuesday, same time. And since I don't have any vacations planned, it should be pretty normal stuff through the summer. And if anything changes, then I will let you know. So, hope you've enjoyed watching, and I shall see you all in the next one. I will see you all in the next one. That's better.